Another statue. Beyond the door was a glamorous Japanese-style room covered in Western ornamentation. It is! Huh. This is like the inverse of the first room. The walls were all sliding doors, but a massive chandelier hung from the ceiling. It looked like a house built during the late 1800s or early 1900s. In the center of a room was another strange statue. This is like a more inspired aesthetic to Final Fantasy than even Final Fantasy's aesthetic is. And just like before, next to it was a device with 7 panels. It's got a big noggin. Shirabi tapped his forehead and nodded. That's a Nura-Rihion. What's a Nura-Rihion? It's a monster that goes into people's houses and drinks their tea. This one's different though. Ah yes, that tea drinking monster, I should have known. It's got Western armor and it's holding a sword. The final boss from Samurai Fantasy VII. Oh, well that makes sense I guess. Yeah. Yup. Moving carefully and checking everywhere for hidden traps, we slowly approach the statue. Glad we checked for traps first. It's beautiful. Miyoshi, don't... Okay. What the hell, bro? Are you serious? It looks like some kind of fat, sort of ugly alien. It's a bad, ugly alien. It's really cool. Smooth, perfect sculpting. He didn't go so far as to touch it, but I got the impression that if he thought it was safe, he would have. Miyoshi's kind of funny. He likes his big-headed statues. I was watching him gaze appreciatively at the statue when I heard a familiar voice. Take in hand the Holy Seal, and with the prayer of the priestess, defeat the Demon King. The light of victory will illuminate your path. That was even more confusing than the last ones. Priestess. The lit panel was a picture of a woman. That's me! Should investigate the room thoroughly. Once we know more, we can examine the hint more closely. Inafune, yes, I think we should split up again. How would you like... I would like you to decide how. Why me? You seem to have good intuition. Does anyone have any objections? Fine, whatever, let's just get moving. Alright. So, we can examine the statue with Shido and Urabe, examine the floor with Shirabe and Miyoshi, or examine the sliding doors with Mitarashi. Floor or sliding doors? No, we'll examine the statue. Who cares about the floor and the sliding glass doors? Or the sliding doors. Decided to investigate the statue with Shido and Urabe. Well, there's no question this is the Demon King. We need to find the Holy Seal in order to defeat it. Wonder if perhaps it's carved into the statue itself somewhere? Alright, looking over the statue all up and down its body. Spent a long time going over the statue, but made sure not to actually touch it. Because you will turn to gold if you touch it. Japanese demon. Has a suit of armor and a sword. Like a Western knight. Ugh, this thing is an insult to knights. Even if it is a game, making the villain a knight is... an insult? Yes! What was all that about? Does he really like knights or something? He likes to be a knight. He's a fan of justice. I was still thinking about what Shido had said when I noticed something strange on the statue's stomach. There's something... Is this a seal? No, wait, it's a hole. What? Where? Right here. It's got a belly button. There's a diamond shaped, almost hidden by the belt. Ah, there's a similar hole in the back. Like he was stabbed with something. I wasn't sure the hole was supposed to be, but it seemed like a thin enough object could probably be inserted into it. Do you remember the statue of the Nu? The statue and the base there were made of the same material, but here they're different. I hadn't noticed, but yes, it seems you are right. That can't be a coincidence. It must mean something. We decided that that was enough investigating and called the others over. Let's run this cat through with something. His own sword, I think, would be a fitting option. Only took a few minutes to go over everything we'd learned. Shirabe had found a mark on the floor that looked like 3 leaves of wild ginger. He suspected this was the Holy Seal. On top of that, the ginger crest appeared to be some sort of button, although they hadn't tried to press it. Mitarashi reported that they'd discovered sliding doors were mostly painted on, although there were a few real ones. Okay. Each wall had one real door, so if we didn't count the entrance, that left 3 possible exits. So, like north, east, and west. Okay, looks like we've found everything we're going to find. Now how does this mess connect to what we heard? Take in hand the holy seal, and with the prayer of the priestess, defeat the demon king. The light of victory will illuminate your path. Take in hand the holy seal, and with the prayer of the priestess, must mean that the priestess has to push the button with the seal on it. Shido reached over and put his hand on my arm. Inafune, you're going to have to do it! What? Why me? Well, you have to be the priestess. You're the only woman here, after all. That, and the only people who haven't gone yet are you and Shirabe. There's no way in hell he's a priestess. No offense, Shirabe. Fortunately, you're not a very great priestess. Oh yes, I guess that makes sense. Duh. Took a deep breath and pushed the button. Everyone swallowed. Ah, nothing's happening. Been expecting, well, something. Maybe it's sticky. Boop, 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 boop. Work, dang it! Pushed again as hard as I could. So, it's not broken, Shirabe. We just haven't done the right thing yet. Gestured for me to move aside and press down on the seal with his foot. Oh. There we go. So the one that was on the floor, that was what we needed. Pleasant chime sounded. Priestess panel disappeared to be replaced by the warrior. Shirabe's the warrior. I am the warrior. Why'd it work for me? I guess you must be the priestess. What? No, that's crazy. Lies! Look, if I'm either of those little pictures, I'm the warrior. Shirabe is the priestess. Trying to understand at what point a scribe or a writer or a journalist in some capacity would be a priestess. I'm coming up with nothing. He looked hurt and a little flustered, but... Dang it, Wakasa. Are you kidding me? This old fart's supposed to be a priestess? I suppose the old adage is true. One cannot judge a book by its cover. Don't laugh at him. Guys. But it's so funny. It is kind of funny. Damn it. Leave me be, you harpies. Backstabbers. How is this girl a warrior? Something's up here and I don't like it. It was a little strange, but at least it looks like we got it to work. Shido had remained silent up till now, but he suddenly spoke up. Or perhaps Inafune isn't actually represented by one of these panels. What? Why? You volunteered to participate, but we were chosen. You're an unforeseen element. The warrior on that panel might be for whoever was originally intended to be here instead of you. That's an interesting point. We are unknown as an element, which might make just those last 2 tiles arbitrary. Wait, you're saying I still would have been the priestess? Well, maybe. Or maybe you're taking the role of another priestess? I don't know. It's only a guess, but if you think about it, the fact that this game seems so specifically tailored to us is pretty unsettling. Damn it. Where does that pig get off just making stuff up? What was the guy who was supposed to be here have a top knot and a pair of swords or something? Oh, we'll scrap that guy. We got Inafune's in here instead. Humor of the situation was beginning to ebb. Yeah, I really don't care who the priestess is. We figured out this part of the puzzle. So what do we do next? Oh hey, take a look at this. Part of the floor opened up. Come on, please be swords. Look, there's something inside. Let's see what it is. Mitarashi, either unafraid or unaware of the possible danger, stuck his hand into the hole and pulled it out. Sword. Yay! A katana! It looks like it. First time I've ever held a real one. This thing's pretty heavy. Look on the guard. Do you think this is... Wild Ginger. Same seal as before. This must be the Holy Seal then. Yeah, maybe. This is the Holy Sword Muramasa from the game. It's an heirloom of the Tokugawa family. The only thing that can hurt the Nurarion. Yeah, what it is totally sweet looking. A holy seal, huh? Mitarashi drew the sword from its scabbard with a flourish, swung it around a few times, grinning and posing. We're all samurais now. You have obtained an item. Oh, thanks, announcer. Guess we got it right. Apparently the next part is defeat the Demon King. Alright. Shook. Just stab it. See? Fits the hole perfectly. Interesting, so the hole was made to fit the sword. Suppose this would count as defeating the Demon King. Why is it making a whirring noise? That's not good. Uh-oh. The light is moving. We watch as it slowly turned to point at the top of the sword. It's reflecting off the katana and pointing at the door on the right-hand wall! Alright, the light of victory will illuminate your path. That's it. Solved the whole damn thing. Okay. I gave him a vigorous nod. Alright, Hinafune, you open the door this time. Warrior, huh? Here goes. Oh, please, just let this be the end. Is there a demon there? Grabbed hold of the door and threw it open. On the other side of the wall was a wall with the head of a demon mounted on it. What? Step forward to get a closer look. Don't get closer! Harsh buzzer sounded. I knew that was gonna happen. I'm stuck! It's frozen in place by surprise and terror. Squeeze my eyes shut. You idiot. This is where we die. Body slammed into you. Who saved my life? Oh shoot! Shot with an arrow. That is not a crossbow bolt, thank goodness. That is an ordinary toothpick arrow, apparently. You okay? His face was twisted in pain, and it only took a moment to see why. The bolt that had been meant for me was buried in his shoulder. This hurts a lot more than I expected. I realized my mouth was hanging open and quickly shut it, but it felt awful. I have to say something, but if I just jumped out of the way... I don't know, should I comfort him, or should I demand him? I feel like he would respond respectfully to one. I'm not sure how he would respond to coddling necessarily. I'm gonna do what's right though. Are you okay? I think I'm okay. Well, that's good. He grinned. Yeah, I think he would have responded better if I had just yelled at him, shouted him down. We need to stop the bleeding. Come on, it's just a flesh wound. You're acting like an old woman. Arrow in your arm. It's an awful lot of blood for a flesh wound, pal. You gotta consider infection. Once I saw a man's arm just turn green and fall off. Now hold still. I watched for a few tense minutes while Shirabe applied some rudimentary first aid. Here, take this. Handed him my handkerchief, which he skillfully tied around Mitarashi's arm. Damn it, I thought we were almost done. So I let myself get cocky and screwed this all up. Punches himself in the face. Shidao grimaced and slammed his fist into his own face. Hey, this isn't just your show, man. Stop trying to act like a hero. No, that's not it. I should have been on my guard, told everyone to move away from the door. That's kind of trap setting 101. Well, I've patched him up as good as I can, but this man needs to get some real treatment as soon as possible. Mitarashi nodded in thanks. Then we need to get out of here. Let's go. So what did we do wrong? That's the first thing we need to figure out. Tried to fight down the growing feeling of panic and go over what we knew, but couldn't hold my thoughts through. I was so sure that was the answer, as we all were. We're missing something. Shirabi continued to mumble to himself and scratch his beard as the rest of us thought. But now there are only 2 doors left. We got a 50-50 chance of getting it right, unless they're both wrong. That sounds like foreshadowing as well. Swords had the opposite effect. Just like stand on one side of the door and just push it open. Just like, go! Get out of here! Minutes ticked by. Every so often I could see Mitarashi grimace in pain and shift uncomfortably. We need to do something fast. Let's go over everything again, starting from the beginning. I nodded and started running over what we knew in my head. We need some intuition here. Shirabi pushed the switch, and then we found the katana with the wild ginger seal on it. That was the line. Take in hand the holy seal, and with the prayer of the priestess. Next we stuck the sword in the statue, made some sort of clicking noise, which was the defeat the Demon King part. Finally, the light moved to the end of the sword, reflected off at the point, which was the light of the victory will illuminate your path. What did we miss? We did everything. Are we supposed to take the sword in hand while we walk through? Racked my brain for what might be. We examined the room. Did we miss something important?